Last year, I lost my job because of Doge, and it's been over 6 months of unemployment. And in 2026, this is the year I decided to have the absolute audacity to pursue me. Hi, I'm Tammy, and in March, I made the decision that I was going to pursue acting full time. Not someday, now, unemployed and everything. So, after a lot of research, I found a new training home at HB Studios in West Village, and I went to their open house, and honestly, it was a match for my nervous system. And week one, I started classes. I decided to take Alexander Technique, which is helping me feel grounded in my body and on stage and on camera. And I also decided to take being on camera because most of my training up until now has been in theater, and I needed both. I commute 6 hours round trip from Connecticut for class, and I get home after 1 a.m. And I do this every single week because audacity isn't a vibe. It's a choice you make over and over and over and over again. And honestly, there are people that do this commute every single day. So we move. It's 10:45. I made it to class. I'm early. The train actually got in early. It was supposed to get in at 10:14 a.m., but it got in at like 10:05 to Grand Central, so that was good. So now I'm in class, and yeah, no one's here yet. I feel that when you make a declaration to pursue yourself, it fuels you with a certain level of audacity that leads you to opportunities you never would have considered before. And that's why I decided to do Audrey Moore's Self Tape May Challenge. And I'm thankful to her for holding a Zoom call where we could share sides, and people were sharing sides from shows like Law and Order, FBI, and NCIS, and it helped me to change my mindset about auditioning and self taping. And I wouldn't have had that mindset shift if I didn't say yes to the challenge. And that's what Audacity does. It puts you into rooms you wouldn't have walked into otherwise. And one of those rooms happened to be the Pro Studios. My first New York City EPA for non-union actor was for the Whoopi monologues, and it was awesome. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be out here, but the door was open. It's a good spot to rehearse. I took a bunch of selfies because why not? It was my first time there. I was so excited. And when I walked into the holding space, that room was filled with Black women. Natural hair was everywhere. It was my first time, maybe in ever, that I walked into something that felt like a job interview surrounded by people who looked exactly like me. Week 3 of classes, and still on my Audacity quest, I went to an audition this time after my first class at the Actors Equity Building. When I got there, they weren't seeing non-union actors for the theater I was interested in, so I just sat and ate my lunch. And I had decided that I would walk back to West Village from Times Square since it was a nice day. And when I was walking on the Jumbotrons, they were showing the commercial for the movie Me, You, and Tuscany. And I wondered, what does Holly Bailey and Reggae Jean look like in person? And I kid you not, I look up and they are standing in Times Square. Like, did I manifest that? I definitely played the lotto the next day because that was insane that they were standing right there, and I was just thinking about seeing them in person. The security in the blue suit looked like an action figure. Week 4, I wanted to do more auditions, but I broke my back. And then I had a self-tape workshop that I signed up for week 5, the beginning of week 5 in Brooklyn. And I was still sick when I went to this workshop. I couldn't even walk the day before. Crazy. Don't get old. But this workshop was so good. My self-tape was so cringe, like cringe, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot. Week 6 of class was really good. I arrived early and I popped into this cafe because it looked really cute and I was hungry, did not eat breakfast. But this also started the weeks of where I only had one class instead of two. So I was no longer getting home at 1 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning. But yeah, pursuing yourself is exhausting. But I just think back to the times when I was sitting in a cubicle at my federal job, hating my life. And it hasn't been easy the past 2 months, moving with absolute certainty, but I feel like I'm getting closer, not just to my acting goals, but to myself. And sometimes we think in order to pursue your dreams, there's a certain age limit. I'm guilty of that. Or a certain amount of income you need, or just these perfect circumstances. But you really don't need anything but audacity and just the drive to keep moving forward. I mean, I'm tired. Look at me in this video. I'm so tired. And my back is still hurting me. But we move, right? I did end up doing one audition this week, and it was in Connecticut, so that was great for the Hartford stage. I stayed for about almost 2 hours, then I left, so I didn't get seen, but I had to leave because my back was screaming. So I had to leave. I left my materials though. But if you got to the end of this video, let me know, what have you had the audacity to pursue this year? It kind of feels like the world is ending, so might as well pursue you.